welcome back. What's that one favorite kids show you rewatch all the time? Well, be careful, because today we're talking about kids shows that are dark and disturbing and you might get traumatized. Or maybe you're super brave. So if you love Smiling Friends or the Digital Circus, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn the bell on. Trust me, I'll protect you. I noticed a lot of you guys are huge fans of Thomas the Tank Engine. And for those who don't know, he's a train in a kids show about trains which teaches life lessons, stories about friendship, and hard work. It's basically like me without the friends or hard work part. So, not me, I guess. Yikes. Anyway, although it's known as a kid-friendly show, there are some episodes
that were so disturbing
that the world questioned if kids should be allowed to watch it. But you're the kid here, so how about you decide? Let's take a look and see if it's too disturbing for kids.
Thomas and Friends is remembered as a cartoon for very young children, recommended from age 3 and up, but over time, it has taken on a strange afterlife as something far more unsettling. It began as an innocent show, with model trains seemingly brought to life through human-like faces, a choice that created an uncanny effect for viewers. Although the intention was always educational and musical, the use of realistic elements in a children's setting gave it an appearance many have since described as disturbing. The internet only amplified this perception, with creepypastas, distorted images, and bizarre fan theories pushing the idea that there was something darker lurking behind the franchise. Among all the episodes, one in particular has been singled out as the clearest example of this sinister undertone. Come Out, Henry. The story centers on Henry, who refuses to follow the orders of the Fat Controller.
Hold on, guys, that's actually the character's name. They call him Fat Controller. And at first I thought this dude was being mean, but no, the show actually calls him that. Still weird in my opinion.
That small act of disobedience leads to a wildly disproportionate punishment. Henry is locked inside a tunnel. The disturbing part is that all the island's inhabitants take part in sealing him in, shoving wagons to block the entrance, while the Fat Controller himself remains detached, overseeing the act like a dictator. Fans have long interpreted the Fat Controller as an exploiter, or even as a communist dictator, forcing everyone to work under his command without ever questioning his authority. Even the umbrella he carries in the scene has been read as a symbol of absolute power, as if it represents political control. What seems at first like a simple moral lesson turns into something far more cruel, because the story never suggests that Henry will be released. Instead, he's left there forever, condemned under the orders of the Fat Controller.
I really don't think the controller guy is evil, to be honest. He's just doing his job. I mean, come on, if these trains don't get to work, we don't get our junk food delivered. And trust me, dearies, you do not want to see me if I don't get my daily Sour Patch Kids. But there's an even worse episode of Thomas and Friends that is considered to be torture, where one of the cars was torn in half, which normally wouldn't be too scary until you realize these cars are alive. Ouch. Computer, play the clip.
Explaining bizarre and creepy things that actually happened in the cartoon Thomas and Friends. It might not seem like it, but there's literally a fan base of people who follow the Thomas series. And every now and then, these people gather to talk about strange events that have happened in the show. One of those discussions that took place on Reddit was all about bizarre moments. The first weird case was when a train named Oliver used a medieval torture technique to literally tear a freight car apart in the cartoon. In that episode, Oliver is heading to a place where he's supposed to be repaired. At one point, some cars play a prank on him, pushing him off the platform.
That ain't pranking. That's literally bullying, and we don't respect bullies.
The story goes on, showing Oliver returning to town absolutely furious. On his way back, Oliver runs into SC Ruffy, who happens to be the leader of the cars. In the episode, Ruffy keeps mocking Oliver, and little by little we see Oliver planning how he's going to get revenge. Near the end of the episode, Oliver couples onto Ruffy. With the help of another train pulling from behind, Oliver tears Ruffy in half using a method very similar to dismemberment, a medieval punishment where people were pulled apart by horses running in opposite directions.
Oh my gosh, that's so painful to look at. The bullied became the bullier. Well, more like a murderer. The car who got torn in half comes back in the future with a new form. So he's okay, guys, don't worry. There's this show that quite literally tells you it's not a kid's show, but it kinda looks like one. Like, I bet you could trick a kid into watching it and jump scare them. Don't do that though, please. Or else, I'll get blamed. This show is called Not Your Normal Kids Show, and it's on TikTok, and it's by far the scariest thing I've ever seen. So, I don't blame you if you pee your pants while watching this.
Welcome back to our show. We have a very special episode for you all today. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Thank you, tall man.
You did it. Close the curtains completely. Why don't you open the door? Open the door.
Oops, wrong number. But remember...
Don't open the door for strangers.
I wonder where Tallman went. Oh, I guess we should get something to eat. Everyone loves a nice plate of crepes. Bon appetit. Well, I guess that's all the time we have for today. Thank you everyone for tuning into our show. We hope you've had a lot of fun and learned some new things.
Oh boy, where did Tall Man go? That's so creepy. And look at the text. It said, please contact us if you see Tall Man. Does that mean he's coming for us? Guys, I think we should run. You know, I always wonder what our pets are thinking. Like, is the dog having its own fun adventure every day? Or is he scared because I always stare at him? Imagine if we could talk to dogs. Now that would be awesome. There's a show about a dog called Courage, and apparently he's a coward. But listen, the world he's in is so scary, I don't blame him for being a scaredy cat. Huh, get it? He's a dog, but I called him a scaredy cat. Gosh, Adorkable, just stop talking. You're embarrassing yourself. Anyway, this is the terrifying truth of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
This episode scared kids more than any horror movie. In this episode, Muriel wins a trip to New York to play at a concert, until a giant cockroach tricks them into entering a secret door. Once inside, the cockroach threatens Courage to deliver these packages across the city, or he will eat Muriel and Eustace alive. Courage obeys and reaches a red apartment building. Each door hides something worse than the last, until the final door. This scene is what scared 90% of kids who saw it. If you like this video, please like, share, and follow. Thank you.
Did anyone else get spooked when that girl turned her face around? She's called the Violin Girl, and she's actually a normal girl that gets possessed by a demon sometimes. Here's what she looks like normally. Hey, she almost looks like me. Courage saves the day at the end of the episode, by the way. Well, except for the grandpa. He got eaten. Okay, going off topic, guys, I'm not a big Dandy's World player, but while I was playing Dandy's World, this guy kept trying to get me killed. I didn't know this happened in Dandy's World, like griefing, but it was so annoying because I'm new and I only have this blue character, so I can't do much about it. Like, look, literally runs close to me just so the monsters aggro onto me. And he kept doing it over and over again. But I didn't realize until it started to look suspicious in this map right here. See? Completely intentional. I ended up surviving for a long time, then I got killed by some trap. But still, it's so annoying, especially because I can't chat since I'm not verified. So I can't even say anything. I was just trying to record footage for this video, and this guy made me have to do it twice because I switched to Subway Surfers after this. But whatever, I guess. Anyway, back to the show. Y'all ever heard of the show Poppy the Performer? It's a show that's a lot like Smiling Friends or Happy Tree Friends. Like one of those creepy shows that looks like it's family friendly from the outside, but when you take a closer look,
You get spooked.
and not even joking, this was actually shown on a kid's channel in Japan. Let's see how disturbing it was.
This is like a live stream into our collective nightmares. Poppy the Performer was a series produced for a Japanese kids station by a guy who didn't know it was a kids station and had never made CG animation before. Poppy is an apprentice clown, and his assistant is a wolf that wears an emotive face mask. Each episode they try different circus acts, and things always have a way of going wrong, with characters being impaled, electrocuted, stabbed, cut in half, and set on fire, just to name a few.
Kids show, by the way. That's like calling Roblox a game for kids when you have these guys leading it who made Roblox so creepy that they had to create an actual kids version of Roblox that's gonna force us all to do age verification. That's a rant for another time, though.
I expected to read that parents were furious when it first aired, but the director says in a Vice interview that the kids station never received any complaints. The only thing the station was concerned about was Poppy's 3 fingers, which they were worried people would consider a disability. So the director made an episode, Knife Game, to show that Poppy's 3 fingers were really 5. But that episode received complaints because kids were imitating the knife game at home.
Wow, who could have thought that kids would imitate what they see on TV? Seriously? These creators gotta take some parenting lessons before making TV shows for kids.
With these low-budget characters set in a cyber wasteland while these horrific things happen to them, it feels like an inescapable level of hell. But there's a wholesome side to Poppy. Its creators are a husband and wife team who produced the show with a budget of only 100,000 yen a month. The series became popular online, and the kids station asked the director back for another season, but he declined because he felt he had done everything he set out to do with Poppy.
It's nice to see a creator end their show instead of dragging it out for like 20 seasons and ultimately ruining it. SpongeBob. But let me know what you think about Poppy. Have you seen it? And was it a bad idea to show to kids? Guys, are aliens real? I think they are, because just look up right now. There's like 1 billion trillion planets with suns and moons. There's no way there aren't aliens. Plus, I swear to God there's a kid in my class who might be from outer space because he keeps talking to the sky. Maybe he's a spy and letting his alien friends know what's going on. There's an old OG show called Invader Zim that you might have never heard of, but it's a very niche popular show. Now, although it was for teens and not kids, kids still watched it and got horrified. Let's see the most disturbing episode in Invader Zim.
In the episode, Bestest Friend, the kids at school start questioning why Sim has no friends. Sim then becomes worried that his lack of friends will expose his identity as an alien, so he befriends this weird kid named Keith who becomes obsessed with Sim. After becoming tired of Keith, Sim dismisses him and states that he no longer requires Keith's services. Keith, however, fails to receive the message and proceeds to stalk Sim. In a final attempt to get rid of Keith, Sim gives him a present that removes his eyeballs in a gruesome fashion and replaces them with new robot eyeballs.
For me? Oh, you are my bestest friend.
Oh, poor
Thank you,
guy, I
Sim.
feel so bad.
I kinda feel bad for Keith. He just wanted a friend, but instead got his eyeballs pulled out in a savagely way. Sim is cold-hearted.
Oh, I feel so sad now, dude. Zim is so mean. The kid was so happy when he got the present, but then he got betrayed by his bestie. Have you ever had a friend that betrayed you before? I hope not, because you're way too kind and deserve the best. Invader Zim eventually got canceled for not being popular enough, but it still has a very popular following. Not gonna lie, I think Zim's kinda cute. You guys know the puppet Elmo, right? Well, he has some friends like Big Bird and the Trash Man, whose name I'm forgetting right now. But anyway, they're all a part of a kids show called Sesame Street, and it turns out Big Bird has a very creepy dark past, even though he seems happy all the time. Turns out he's been pretending this whole time. Let's find out the dark truth about Big Bird.
Big Bird is seen as one of the happiest characters on Sesame Street, but he uses art to escape his dark past.
Wait, are you talking about Elmo's friend?
Yeah, he actually has one of the darkest stories in any show. And he's just a child.
Isn't he like 8 foot tall?
He is, but we learned from a document that he's only 6.
Hold up, you're saying this grown, bird who looks like he could pay off a mortgage is 6 years old? Are you sure he's 6? Or is he, 6 or 8? Ha, gotcha. Bet you thought I'd say 6, 7.
He's only 6. His family died. This is why he lives in an abandoned lot on Sesame Street. It's a nest that's surrounded by trash. It was so bad that he was forcefully taken in and assigned to a family of birds. This family treated him like a dog. He got so sick of it that he left and went back to his friends on Sesame Street. Then he starts making art for them, but he realizes not everyone is there.
Where is he? I want to give it to him.
Big Bird learns what death is.
Big Bird, when people die, they don't come back.
Ever?
Pretty sad that he had to go through such hard times, but that's why he's such a strong, independent yellow bird now. Some people think he's a chicken, but really? Chickens are not yellow? He's clearly a canary bird. Oh, it's so cute. Sesame Street's entire purpose is to teach kids real-life lessons and rules. And well, about the real world. Which is why they talk about dark topics like Big Bird's struggle or finding out all his friends died. Okay, that is dark, but still, it's important to know. Personally, I've never watched Sesame Street because puppets scare me. But if you've watched it before, let me know who your favorite character is in the comments. Similar to Sesame Street, there's another Muppet show called Mr. Bear's Cellar. There are only 7 known episodes for this show that were made way back in the year 1999, and a lot of people who saw it wished they hadn't. Basically, a man wears a bear costume and brings kids to his cellar. That's already creepy, but then the kid never comes out. Oh gosh, this is so creepy. But you're brave, so let's see what really happened.
Creepy things from around the internet. Mr. Bear's Cellar, 1999.
Been
Ever
very
heard of this
occupied
disturbing
recently,
children's show?
and I'm just so ecstatic to finally be able to spend time with you once more. Unfortunately, I no longer have a TV channel to broadcast on, but that's okay, because with this new internet, I can broadcast to the whole world. I'm just so happy I will be able to share my friendship with all of you lovely children up there. Halloween is coming up, I know. It's my favorite holiday. Don't you worry, I will upload a special video just for you on that very special day. Be sure to tune in for new episodes, and maybe we'll get to meet some new friends too.
Does anybody hear the crying in the background? It's really quiet, but it sounds like a kid crying.
Goodbye for now, and remember, Mr. Bear loves you.
The story of 1999 follows a man who remembers watching a strange public access TV channel called Caledon, Local 21 in Ontario, where a creepy children's show named Mr. Bear's Cellar featured a man in a bear costume inviting kids into his basement, and although nothing violent was shown on screen, the episodes grew increasingly unsettling, especially when children began appearing and being led into the cellar with no clear explanation of what happened to them.
A lot of children went missing during this time, by the way.
As the man grew up, he investigated the show and discovered that during the same time it aired, several children had mysteriously disappeared in the area, leading police to suspect that the person behind Mr. Bear had used the show to lure kids in real life. And one episode where Mr. Bear angrily shouted at unseen callers suggested something dark was going on behind the scenes.
Bears are not safe, guys, even if it's just a costume, because think about it. What kind of sicko is walking around wearing a bear costume?
Eventually, it was revealed that Mr. Bear had been killing children and keeping them in his basement, claiming he was protecting them rather than harming them. Yet when police raided the property, he had already vanished and was never found, leaving the mystery unresolved. The story ends hauntingly when the man receives a letter years later, signed by Mr. Bear, saying, "I hope you're still a good boy," suggesting that the remembers him and might still be watching.
I had to censor a few words because YouTube wouldn't let me put that in the video, but basically, Mr. Bear was like Colleen Ballinger without the bear suit. Get what I'm saying? But guess what? Mr. Bear's Cellar is actually a creepypasta made in 2009 that was made by Camden Lamont. It was also based in Canada. Yay, we got one creepypasta! Aside from cartoons, there were live-action shows back in the day that were very disturbing for kids. For example, this next one's called Alf, and it had the darkest ending ever. Spoiler, he gets absolutely destroyed. Let's see how it goes down.
Alf was an interesting culture icon in the late 80s. Despite being an ugly, hairy-looking pig alien.
Whoa, dude's just roasting his life away, man. Is that really necessary? He ain't that bad looking.
He was loved by audiences around the country. People seemed to be very attached to Alf during this time, especially children, but for some reason directors chose to end the series in a very dark and disturbing way. In the series finale titled Consider Me Gone, Alf receives a radio transmission from some of his friends back on his home planet Melmac. They tell him that they've purchased a new planet and want his help in creating a new civilization there.
Oh, you're not gonna believe this!
What does it say?
They're coming to get me!
Who? Who's coming to get you?
My friends, Skip and Rhonda. They've been trying to contact me for days. Seems they bought a new planet, and they want me to join them in the beginning of a new Melmac.
So he's going back to his home planet? That's good, I guess. Wonder what went wrong.
However, the alien task force of the US military intercepts the transmission, and Alf is captured by them before he can head home. From the very first episode, the alien task force made their intentions very clear with plans to burn, freeze, electrocute, poison, physically torture, and dissect him.
What in the world? Well, it's the US government, so I'm not surprised.
The show ends with them capturing Alf and finally doing all that to him, leaving it up to the audience to decide on Alf's fate.
From what I heard, the creators were planning on having another season, but the show got canceled so they couldn't continue his story, which is why everything was left up to speculation. As for why the show got canceled, it was because all the actors started to hate working on the show and they couldn't work together anymore. Acting is hard, I guess. Disney is a wild one. They always seem to get hijacked at the most random times. Like this one time during a commercial, someone hijacked the station when innocent kids were watching and traumatized them just for fun. That's so evil. Let's take a look and try not to get scared. Warning, it might be loud.
You're watching.
Way too loud, I'ma turn it down. I'm about to put a filter on it to protect your eyes, cause it's gonna flash fast. There was a lot of speculation on if this was real or not, and most people believed it, but I'm gonna break the illusion, guys. It's not a real hijacking. Someone took a few clips from the Disney Channel and the Mickey Mouse Dark video from another creepypasta to make this creepy edit. If you could pick between a cat pet or a mouse pet, which would you pick? Well, between Tom and Jerry, who do you like more? I'm gonna assume you picked a cat, but then you picked Jerry, right? I don't blame you, cause Jerry's cuter than Tom. In the show, usually Jerry wins and Tom loses, but in this super sad episode, they both deal with the most heartbreaking thing ever. Let's watch and try not to cry.
3 popular cartoons that went to really dark places. Number 1, Tom and Jerry, Blue Cat Blues. The subject of this Tom and Jerry cartoon from the 50s is next level bleak. Tom is sitting on the train tracks depressed and waiting for an oncoming train to come and run him over, it looks like. The story is told through flashback from Jerry's point of view. Anyway, in the flashbacks, we learn that Tom is depressed because his girlfriend left him for another cat. And then at the end of the episode, we find out that Jerry the Mouse is in the same kind of predicament, with his girlfriend also leaving him. So, he joins his frenemy on the train tracks, the whistle of an approaching train grows louder as the cartoon fades out. What the F? Interesting note, because of the finality and dark storyline, many assume that this is the final episode of the original series. But it's not. This segment aired in 1956. The final Tom and Jerry cartoon produced during this era came 2 years later. I guess after the screen faded to black, Tom and Jerry must have moved out of the way.
I think Tom and Jerry also likes to teach life lessons, and this episode was probably teaching kids to not care too much what others think about them, and to take care of themselves first before others. Also to avoid people who are materialistic and find real friends instead. Basically, stop simping, guys.
Number 2, Tiny Toons One Beer.
Nope. Not talking about that one because it's horrible and kids shouldn't watch it. And since I care about my viewers, I will not let you watch that one. Watching live TV game shows always scared me because I was always worried about something bad happening. You know those shows like Wipeout and America's Got Talent when the contestants start doing weird knife tricks? I'm always scared because what if the knife hits their head? On a kids' live show a long time ago, something horrible happened, resulting in people almost getting oofed by a fire. Let's see how dangerous it was, because we actually have recorded footage of this incident.
This is the scariest real moment caught on a children's TV show. Hi, I'm Grace. Can I be your horror girly? On January 11th, 2001, Brazilian TV icon Shusha stepped onto the set of Shusha Park. Shusha Park was a wildly popular children's TV program at the time. As the episode was ending, the cast gathered for one more song. The cameras were rolling, people were dancing, music was playing. Little did they realize that behind them, the prop spaceship had caught on fire. And at first, they had literally no idea this was even happening. A crew member actually ran up to try to stop the fire, but the flames spread instantly. Within seconds, the entire set was burning. Smoke filled the studio and a wide panic broke out. lost off camera was the show's Ferris wheel. There was a young boy who was trapped inside the Ferris wheel as the fire was growing. Thank God the staff ran in and they pulled him out, helping him get free moments before it was too late. The fire ended up being caused by an electrical shortage. The set was destroyed, many people were injured, but thank God everybody survived. The show did not, though. Shusha Park was immediately canceled, pulled from the air. That was the last episode they ever filmed.
That's such a horrible disaster. From what people discovered, the reason the fire happened was because the stage lights inside the fake spaceship overheated, leading to an electrical failure that ignited and everything went up in flames. I'm just glad everyone was okay at the end. That's all, dearies. I gotta run because I'm making some burgers and brownies. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below, and I'll catch you next time. Toodles.